Grandma, it's me. I'm in trouble, and I need you to promise not to tell Mom and Dad.
That wasn't a real grandchild. That was an AI-generated voice clone. It's a terrifying new technology that criminals are using to create a perfect replica of your loved one's voice. And they only need a few seconds of audio from a social media post to do it. That bone-chilling phone call is just one of 5 incredibly dangerous scams criminals are using right now to drain the bank accounts of seniors. Last year, people over 60 lost a staggering $4.8 billion to these kinds of financial scams. These criminals aren't amateurs, they are sophisticated, psychological manipulators, armed with cutting-edge technology. They prey on trust, they prey on fear, and they prey on the love we have for our families. My name is Karen Ellis, and I've spent months investigating the latest fraud tactics to bring you what you need to know. This isn't just about being aware, it's about building a digital shield around the people you care about most. We're going to break down the 5 most dangerous scams. I'll show you the psychological tricks they use to sound so convincing, and I'll give you the exact steps to take to ensure your parents don't become their next victims. Let's get into it. Scam 1. The AI voice cloning grandparent scam myth. Karen Ellis. The first scam is the one you just heard, and it's arguably the most cruel and effective new tool these criminals have. The AI voice cloning grandparent scam. This is a high-tech update to a classic con. For years, scammers would call seniors pretending to be a grandchild in distress. They'd say something vague like, "Hi Grandma, it's your favorite grandchild," hoping the senior would say a name. But now with AI, they don't need to trick you into giving them a name. They can become that person. Here's how it works. Scammers grab a small audio sample of your grandchild's voice, which they can easily find on a public Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook video. Using AI software, they clone that voice, its unique patterns, its pitch, its rhythm, and can then make it say anything they want. So your mother or father gets a call. The caller ID might even be fake to look like it's coming from a number they know. When they answer, they hear their grandson or granddaughter's voice, filled with panic. The story is always urgent and terrifying. "I've been in a car accident. I've been arrested and need bail money," or "I'm in the hospital and have to pay a bill right now." A grandparent's first instinct isn't to be suspicious, it's to help the child they love. Then, the scammer adds intense pressure by demanding secrecy. They'll say, "Please don't tell Mom and Dad. They'll be so worried. This has to stay between us." This isolates the victim, stopping them from calling you to check if the story is real. Finally, they demand payment, but not with a credit card. They'll demand something irreversible and untraceable: wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or most often, gift card. They will literally walk the victim through going to a store, buying thousands of dollars in gift cards, and reading the numbers off the back. Once that happens, the money is gone for good. First, the absolute #1 red flag is how they ask for money. No legitimate organization, and certainly no family member in an emergency, will ever ask to be paid in gift cards. That is always a scam. Second, the demand for secrecy is a giant warning sign. Scammers need to keep your parent isolated. Instruct them that if they ever get a call like this, the very first thing they should do is hang up and call you or the grandchild directly on the number they already have saved. Third, and this is the most powerful tool you have, create a family safe word or a code question. This is a special word or phrase only your close family knows. An inside joke, the name of a first pet. Teach your parents that if they get an emergency call, they must ask for the safe word. A scammer will have no clue what it is, and the fraud is immediately exposed. The Scam 2, the tech support remote access scam. Karen Ellis. Next up is one of the oldest scams out there, but it is still devastatingly effective, especially for seniors who aren't as comfortable with technology. It's the tech support scam. In fact, people over 60 are 5 times more likely to report losing money to this specific scam than younger people. The first is a call out of the blue from a friendly person claiming to be from Microsoft, Apple, or another trusted tech company. The other more common way is a scary pop-up that suddenly hijacks their computer screen. It will have flashing warnings, maybe a loud alarm, and a message like "threat detected." Your computer is infected with a virus. Call this number immediately. The goal is to trigger instant panic. The pop-up looks official, uses logos they recognize, and makes them think their personal photos, files, and bank information are about to be stolen. Believing they have a real problem, they call the number. The technician will be calm and sound knowledgeable. They'll have your parent describe the problem, confirming how serious it is. Then they make their move. They'll ask for remote access to the computer to diagnose the problem. The second your parent grants them access, the scammer is in complete control. They'll open random system folders, pointing to normal computer files and claiming they're viruses, or proof of foreign hackers. To someone who isn't a tech expert, it looks terrifying and legitimate. In reality, it's all just a show. With the victim convinced, the scammer goes in for the kill. They'll offer to fix the problem that never existed for a fee, usually a few hundred to several $1,000s, but it often gets worse. While they're inside the computer, they can install actual malware to steal passwords, or even ransomware that locks up the computer until more money is paid. You need to teach them one simple, golden rule: legitimate tech companies will never contact you first. Microsoft isn't monitoring your personal computer for viruses and calling you about it. It just doesn't happen. Any unsolicited call or pop-up warning is a scam, period. The biggest red flag is that request for remote access. Tell your parents to never ever grant a stranger remote access to their computer, no matter who they claim to be from. Another dead giveaway is being asked to pay for tech support with a gift card, wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. The real solution is simple. If a pop-up appears, ignore it. Restarting the computer will almost always make it go away. If they get a call, just hang up. If they're genuinely worried about their computer, they should only ever call a trusted local technician or a family member for help. Scam 3. The government official impersonation scam. Karen Ellis. This next scam uses the power of authority and fear. It's the government impersonation scam, and it's one of the most common scams reported. Scammers will pose as officials from the IRS, Social Security Administration, or Medicare, to scare victims into sending them money. The whole approach is built on intimidation. A call comes in, often with a fake caller ID, that looks like it's from a real government agency. The person on the line identifies themselves as an agent or investigator. Their tone is serious and threatening. They might claim your parent owes back taxes, and a warrant is out for their arrest. Or they might say their social security number has been suspended because it was linked to a crime, and their benefits will be frozen unless they pay a fine right now. The scammer uses the weight of the government's authority to make the threat feel real and unavoidable. They use official-sounding jargon, fake case numbers, and fake badge numbers to seem credible. For a law-abiding person, the idea of being in trouble with the law is terrifying. And just like the other scams, they create a false sense of urgency. They'll say things like, "You need to pay this fine within the hour, or we're sending police to your house." This is designed to stop the victim from thinking, from questioning, or from calling someone else. They keep them on the phone, under constant threat, until they give in. And, once again, the payment method tells you everything you need to know. The scammer will demand the fine be paid with a wire transfer, gift cards, or cryptocurrency. They'll even coach their victim on what to say at the store to avoid suspicion. Of course, once that money is sent, it's gone forever. First, agencies like the IRS and the Social Security Administration will almost always contact you through official mail first, not with a threatening phone call or text. Second, A real government agency will never demand an immediate payment over the phone. You'll always have a chance to question or appeal the charge. Third, they will never threaten you with immediate arrest for not paying. That is purely a scare tactic used by criminals. And fourth, the request for payment via gift card, wire transfer, or crypto is the ultimate sign of a scam. The US government does not accept iTunes gift cards as payment for back taxes. The advice is simple: if your parent gets a threatening call from someone claiming to be from the government, they should hang up immediately. Don't argue, just hang. If they're worried there might be a real issue, they should look up the agency's official phone number on its website and call them directly to check. Scam 4. The romance friendship scam. This next scam is different. It's not a quick hit that relies on panic. This is a slow burn, a long con that plays on one of our deepest needs: love and connection. It's the romance scam, and it is both emotionally and financially devastating. And these scams are on the rise. One report showed a 20% jump in the first quarter of 2025 alone. It usually starts on a dating website or social media platform. Scammers create fake profiles, often using stolen photos of other people. They specifically target older adults who might be widowed, divorced, or simply feeling lonely. They craft a persona that seems like a perfect match. They're charming, they're attentive, and they share the same interests. The scammer then invests weeks, sometimes months, building what feels like a real, loving relationship. They'll message and call all the time, showering the victim with attention in a tactic called love bombing. They work to create a deep emotional bond and earn the victim's absolute trust. Once that trust is locked in, the requests for money begin. It often starts small, maybe for a minor problem like a broken-down car. But then the stories get more dramatic and urgent. There's a medical emergency, a business deal that went bad, or they need money for a plane ticket so they can finally come visit. Each story is a performance designed to pull at the victim's heartstrings. Because a real bond has been formed, the victim feels a powerful need to help the person they believe they love. This cycle can go on for months, even years, completely draining a person's life savings. The scammer will always have an excuse for why they can't meet in person or do a proper video call. Their camera is broken, they're in the military deployed overseas, they work on an oil rig. It's all a lie to hide their real identity. By the time the victim finally realizes what's happening, they're often left with a broken heart and a cleared-out bank account. Red flags and prevention. Avoiding this scam requires a healthy dose of skepticism. A major red flag is a profile that seems just too good to be true. If they look like a model and have a prestigious job but very few friends or tagged photos, be suspicious. You can do a reverse image search on their profile pictures to see if they've been stolen from someone else online. Another huge warning sign is if they refuse to ever meet in person or do a real video call. If they're constantly making excuses, it's almost certainly because they aren't who they say they are. But the biggest red flag of all is any request for money. Tell your parents this simple rule: you never ever send money to someone you have only met online. I don't care how convincing or tragic their story is. And encourage your parents to talk to you or a friend about their online relationships. Scammers need their victims to be isolated. Just bringing in a second opinion can often expose all the red flags that someone who is emotionally invested might have missed. Scam 5. The You've Won lottery or sweepstakes scam. The final scam we're covering is an old one, but it still pulls in millions. It's the lottery and sweepstakes scam. This one preys on that universal hope for a sudden windfall that will solve all of your problems. Here's how it works. Your parent gets a call, an email, or a letter telling them they've won a massive prize. It might be millions from a famous lottery, or a luxury car from a big sweepstake. The news is exciting, and the person delivering it sounds professional and enthusiastic. They make the prize feel incredibly real. They'll have all the details, talk about a formal delivery, and build a sense of celebration. And then comes the catch. There's always a catch. To get their winnings, they're told they have to pay a fee first. The scammer will have a plausible sounding reason. It's for taxes, insurance, or shipping fee. The amount, maybe a few $1,000s, seems tiny compared to the millions they think they're about to get, so it feels like a reasonable step, but that fee is the entire scam. There is no prize, there is no lottery win. The only real money is the money the victim sent. After they pay the first fee, the scammer will often come back with more excuses for new fees, bleeding the victim dry for as long as they can, always promising the big prize is just one more payment away. Of course, it never arrives. Red flags and prevention. The prevention here is based on one unbreakable rule. You should never have to pay money to receive a legitimate prize. If you win a real lottery, taxes are taken out of the prize itself. You don't send money to the lottery company to get it. Any request for an upfront fee to unlock a prize is a 100% guaranteed scam. Another obvious red flag is being told you've won a lottery you never even entered. You can't win a contest you didn't play. Tell your parents that if they get a call or an email saying they've won something, they shouldn't get excited, they should get suspicious. Don't give out any personal information, and don't send any money, just hang up the phone or delete the email. Section 6. Overarching red flags, the universal signs of a scam. Karen Ellis. So we've looked at 5 very different scams, from high-tech voice cloning to old-school lottery cons, but you've probably noticed they all share a few common tactics. These are the universal red flags that should set off alarm bells for anyone. If you can teach your parents to spot these core strategies, you can protect them from almost any scam out there. First, extreme urgency. Scammers always pressure you to act now. They'll say, "This offer expires in an hour," or if you hang up, "The police are on their way." They do this to short-circuit your brain. They don't want you to have time to think, to doubt, or to call someone else. Real businesses and government agencies just don't work that way. Second, unusual payment methods. Scammers want money in ways that are fast, anonymous, and irreversible. This is why they will almost always demand payment by gift card, wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. No legitimate company or government agency will ever demand you pay them this way. If you hear the words gift card, you know you're talking to a criminal. Third, a demand for secrecy. Scammers need to isolate their victims. They'll say, "Don't tell your kids," or "This has to be our secret." They know that the second you talk to someone else, the whole thing falls apart. Encourage your parents to break this rule. Always. Open communication is the enemy of fraud. Fourth, unsolicited contact. Whether it's a pop-up on the computer, a random text message, or a call out of the blue, the scam almost always starts with the scammer contacting you first. You have to be deeply suspicious of anyone you don't know who reaches out with an amazing offer or a terrible warning. If a situation involves just one of these red flags, it's probably a scam. If it involves 2 or more, it is absolutely positively a scam. Karen Ellis. The world of financial fraud is always changing. As criminals grab every new piece of technology and every psychological trick they can find, they are relentless. But as we've seen today, their methods have weakness. Their tactics can be spotted, their pressure can be resisted, and their scams can be stopped. The single greatest defense we have isn't a piece of software, it's knowledge, and it's communication. Talking openly with your parents about these threats is the most important step you can take. It removes the shame and embarrassment victims often feel, and it makes it okay for them to come to you when something feels wrong. I made this video to arm you with the information you need to start that conversation. So now I have a call to action for you, and it's the most important one I can give. Please, share this video, share it with your parents, your grandparents, and anyone else you care about. A short video or a 5-minute conversation could be the one thing that protects them from a scammer who wants to steal everything they've spent their lives building. If you found this valuable, Please subscribe for more content to help keep you and your family safe. And finally, if you or someone you know has run into one of these scams, please consider sharing the experience in the comments below without any personal details, of course. Every story we share is another tool to help protect everyone in this community. Thank you for watching. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and stay safe.